In this video training series, I'm going to be showing you a lot of WordPress plugins, but new plugins are being added all the time, or you may come across other plugins that interest you. So I want to take a moment here to provide some guidelines on how to choose a WordPress plugin. First of all, let me give you a tip about where to search for these plugins. Now, you might be tempted to go here under your dashboard, Plugins, Add New, where you can search for plugins. So let's say I've searched here for WordPress SEO. All right, this search goes to wordpress.org and looks in the directory there and shows you the information. However, the way it shows you the information isn't quite as useful as it could be. So that's why I recommend actually going to the WordPress plugin directory. So we're at wordpress.org right now, and we're under plugins. All right. Now you can see there are over 20,000 plugins right now. And when you do a search for something, you're going to get dozens and dozens of possibilities. So how do you choose? Well, that's what we want to talk about right now. Let's enter something in here to the search. I'm going to do random post sidebar. Now, you might have to search a few times because the way things are worded by the developers can vary. There's no set way to list any of these plugins, and you may not get exactly what you want on the first search. Now, in this case, I should be okay because those were pretty commonly used words. Notice I've got literally dozens and dozens, 230 plugins to choose from. How do I decide? Well, first of all, ignore these stars. Ignore this rating just for the moment. A lot of people are drawn to that. And this is what gets shown to you in WordPress. Remember over here, we saw this. It shows you the rating. But that rating is only useful in a certain way. And I'll tell you about that in a moment. Right now, what we want to look at is the number of downloads. That's what I find a useful place to start. So you can see there's quite a variation, 27,000. 1,000, 6,592. It's quite varied. And a lot of the popular plugins are up in the hundreds of thousands and even the millions of downloads. What do downloads tell us? Well, it's not the number of people using the plugin. It's close, but it's not exact. For example, if I've downloaded the same plugin 5 times because it's been updated over the last few years, well, that's 5 of me downloading. So again, the numbers aren't exact. Also, I could use a plugin but not have downloaded it from here. Somebody may have given me the file or something, or I may have found it on the developer's site rather than from here. And of course, just because someone's downloaded it doesn't mean they liked it or they're using it still. So it's not an exact science, but it's a good first step. I mean, if one plugin has 250 downloads, another has 250,000, obviously there's something to recommend the second plugin. Now, when the plugin was released is another factor to consider. The date here, by the way, is the last time it was updated, not when it was first brought in. I'll show you in a moment when it was brought in. But if you think about it, if 2 plugins have 10,000 downloads and one's been around for 3 years and the other came out just last month, well, obviously that says something about the popularity of the second one. Now, after you've looked at the numbers this way, now we can come back to these stars. Let me show you what's going on here. Let's go into Easy Random Posts here. Okay. Notice now it tells us how many people actually rated it. Okay, not just how many stars it got, but how many rated it. And that's where you want to compare with the number of downloads. I mean, if you've got 10 ratings and 10,000 downloads, and another one has 10 ratings but only 150 downloads, well, obviously, the people who downloaded it 150 times really, really liked it. Anyway, it's another figure to look at. All right, so look at the number of ratings and compare it with the number of downloads. All right, now let's look at the dates. This is the last date it was updated, of course, but you want to find out how old it is. One of the ways you can do that is with the changelog here. Now, it doesn't give you actual dates, but you can see it's gone back quite a ways, so obviously this has been around for a while. Stats can also tell you something. These stats only go back about a year or so, okay? But obviously this was around, it's been downloaded for over a year now. And you could go back and figure out, even from the developer's website or places like that, you could find out when it was brought in. But this at least tells you it's been around for more than a year. Compare that with one that's been around for 2 months, then you've got a basis for comparing dates. Now, the other thing you want to look at is who wrote the plugin. Say you are using a plugin right now that you really like, and you find that same person has written another plugin. Well, obviously, you've got some trust already in that. As you look around in the plugin directory, you're going to start to notice people who've written several plugins. In fact, it tells you right underneath their name how many they've written, and if you click on their name, you can see which ones they are. Which again, if you really like their plugin, you go, oh, okay, oh, he's already written one for HTML5 search. That could be interesting. You know, that's how you start to find other plugins based on the person who wrote it. And by the way, some people write plugins for their own applications, so that's a good reason to trust them. Facebook, for example, has come out with its own plugin for comments and sidebar information, all those sorts of things right from Facebook. So that's a good way to get some trust going. Also, if you see the name Automattic here, and I'll just click on Automattic, that's the company that actually runs WordPress. And that's a good reason to trust plugins. Anything by them probably is well written. So that's another thing to look for as well. Now, notice I said Facebook wrote its own plugin, so that's a good reason to trust it. Again, you have to look for all the information. Down here is a compatibility factor, and it tells you the version of WordPress, the version of the plugin, and whether they're compatible together. Now let's check and see. If we go back to 3.4, it says not enough data. We go back to 3.2. It came out very recently, so there won't be a lot of data for back ones because it didn't exist. But notice 3.4.1, a lot of people are saying it's broken. That's not a good sign, so that gives you some reason not to trust it right now. Again, another place to look is in the support forums. It tells you right here how many threads have been answered in the last 2 months. That's very important. Is anyone paying attention to requests for support? And finally, you can go right to the support forum. There's a nice button there that takes you to all the current questions people have, the things they're finding useful, that they're not finding so useful. Very, very important to keep an eye on those when you're trying out a new plugin. So there you have some ideas of how to choose a new WordPress plugin as you go along.